Avengers Endgame, Avengers Endgame, Avengers Endgame, Endgame, Avengers Endgame, Avengers Endgame, Avengers Endgame, Endgame. Avengers Endgame, Avengers Endgame, Avengers Endgame, Avengers Endgame, Avengers Endgame, Avengers Endgame, Endgame, Avengers Endgame, Avengers Endgame, Avengers Endgame, Endgame. 10,000 nerd point. 10,000 nerd point to any and all people that got that joke and that got that reference. You just got 10,000 nerd point. Don't put it in the comment down below for other people that don't know where that joke came from. Let them go discover it for themselves. But for everybody else that understood that joke, you just got 10,000 nerd points. Greetings, geeks and nerds. I'm Lady Universe and I'm White and Nerdy, and welcome to my review of Avengers Endgame. So, if nobody had seen Avengers Endgame yet, just be forewarned that there will be some spoilers. So please go and watch Avengers Endgame first before you watch the rest of this review, otherwise you'll be left in the blank. So go, just do yourself a favor right now and go and watch this movie, otherwise spoilers. Now, on Friday, we took a look at Avengers Infinity War, which I did like, but did say that, the film did have its flaws, and unfortunately, in my opinion, the film did have some flaws. Excellent moment, sure, and really fantastic, decisions all the way around in most parts and area, but it's not what I was expecting. I was expecting this big, humongous crossover and everything with the Avengers fighting Thanos and everything, and I get that it ends on a cliffhanger because we can't wrap up like the entire Thanos comic book storyline that was done, I think, in the 80s, 80s to 90s. Like, we can't sum that up in just one film. There has to be two of them, and that's why we split them into pieces, like part one, part two. And I'm sad to say, and a bunch of people are going to be pissed off with me, but again, please do not be too hasty to go down into the comment section and decide to call me every name in the book. Otherwise, I will disable the comments if it gets too out of hand. Again, that was my warning when I reviewed Avengers Infinity War. Like, if you guys get too out of hand, I don't like doing it because I like reading your guys' comments, I will turn off the comments. That's just how things will be if you get too out of hand with it. But, with Avengers Endgame, if you're thinking that I'm going to have some positive opinions about this, I'm sorry to say not really. I think that Endgame, truthfully, is the worst one. Like, if you gave me two decisions of an Avengers movie to pick, whether it be Infinity War or Endgame, I'd probably pick Infinity War only because I can still tolerate that one. Like, even though, yeah, it's not really my cup of tea, like, it's still good, but it has its flaws. Endgame, no, I would probably fall asleep to, and in fact, I almost did fall asleep to Avengers Endgame. So I didn't want to keep people waiting that long either. Unlike with Static Shock and Superman and Lois, I'm keeping you people waiting because I'm an asshole. Maybe next month we'll get back to Static and Superman and Lois together. Maybe next month. Maybe in June. But we're going to take a look at Avengers Endgame here. And yeah, I have to say to people that, I'm sorry, that yeah, my opinions on Avengers Endgame are not going to be very or quite so positive. So, very similar to the comics, like I said last time, Thanos somehow becomes a farmer after his adventures that happened last time, and he's kind of like living in a world of peace, and he's kind of like all at peace with the world. And at first you think everything's gonna be okay, and then boom! Captain Marvel starts attacking and hitting him like crazy after what he did to her best friends and comrades in arms. Then the Avengers all gain up on him trying to get information about how to get the Infinity Stones back and how to reverse all the shit that he'd done until... Yeah, you all saw that right. Thor just fucking decapitates Thanos right in front of the Avengers, and Rocket asks, dude, what the hell did you just do? And Thor just walks off, never to be basically seen again for a while. Now, I know that this is because the Avengers have no idea how the Infinity Stones work, except you know who's missing in this movie? Do you know that who could have been used in this movie, who knows everything about the Infinity Stones and should have appeared in this movie instead of Guardians of the Galaxy Volume 3? Adam Warlock, because Adam Warlock is a part of the Infinity Watch. Would have been nice to see Adam Warlock in this movie to explain everything to the Avengers instead of what the bullshit answer in this movie is, and we'll get to that in just a short time here. But Adam Warlock and the Infinity Watch are just sitting right over there. All James Gunn did was just fuck up Adam Warlock and said, I want you over in my Guardians of the Galaxy trilogy. Infinity Watch sitting right over there. You don't need Adam Warlock. The Infinity Watch is just sitting over in the distance and nobody's using them at all. Just sitting over there. No one? Nobody? Okay. So, you might think, oh, so the Avengers are going to try to basically scavenge space and time, to basically find these items. Because the way that you can think about the Infinity Stones and think about the Dragon Balls from Dragon Ball when you get all 7 and summon Shenron, and then you basically make your wish with Shenron, they all disappear. Yeah, this is the same way with the Infinity Stones and how they work. So think Dragon Ball logic here. Except, here's the thing. Because the Avengers did decide, well, we should give up now. There is no other answer. Led by Captain America, a man who doesn't know what the word quit even means, basically. He keeps fighting the good fight. No. Nope. Because they don't do anything. Nothing. Not fucking jack shit for 5 goddamn years. Yeah, instead of being fucking superheroes, the Avengers fucking get jobs, like normal people, to kind of help the survivors. That is until Scarlet tells Captain America, like, Steve, we gotta get back these terms. We can't keep living this way. We can't keep doing this. We're Avengers, goddammit. That is until Scott Lang shows up and he's wondering, where the hell is my daughter? My daughter's supposed to be here, and she's not. So what the fuck happened while I was gone inside of the multiverse, basically? But the only Avenger that gets a happy ever after is Tony. Tony got to marry Pepper, and he got to have this adorable little girl, and she is just a light in this movie. And then they decide, because they have Smart Hulk, who somehow is here for some reason, so then they decide to use motherfucking time travel.
Man, you come right out of a comic book.
So then the Avengers decide to bullshit their fucking way around going back in time, getting the time stone to stop Thanos. Except their plan doesn't actually work because Thanos ends up finding out what their plan is and plans to basically kill the Avengers and take over the world because it's motherfucking Thanos. You know, I kinda get the reason why Anthony and Joe Russo decided to basically include like scenes from Guardians of the Galaxy, the original Avengers, and so on and so forth. It's because that this film is to remind people of the Avengers. This is a huge celebration of all the movies that followed up to this exact point, and I do get it. I get it. And yes, this movie does have some good things, like I said. This movie really had, just like Iron Man 2 and Spider-Man Homecoming, one of my favorite representations of Iron Man. And I'm not the biggest Iron Man fan. I can't really stand the guy, truthfully, to be honest with you. But Robert Downey Jr., I think, just in Endgame, did the best example of a humanized Tony Stark. He finally had something to live for, which is exactly why he chose not to do it, and you understand why. He's like, I'm finally happy. I got to marry Pepper, the girl of my dreams. You know, finally, after so long of chasing her, we finally got to settle down, and I have this adorable little daughter. I love this adorable little girl who says I Love You 3000. She is just the most adorable thing in the world, and you have to love her. And this is the thing, and it's not a bad thing. They're trying to tell you that superheroes sometimes have to make sacrifices. Not a bad concept. Not a bad idea. Except when you stop and think about the fact that their idea was bullshit to begin with of going back in time, and the movie's answer to this is that Gamora's sister Nebula, is it Nebula? Is that her name? Basically has herself like programmed into herself. That sounds like a sexual innuendo. But she has herself programmed into herself, and she was telling Big Daddy Thanos, like, the Avengers are back in the past to try to stop you from getting your Infinity Stones. And Thanos is like, I will stop them before they get the Infinity Stones, which is exactly what led up to this point. And then the movie posed kind of like a bullshit thing, because we don't get to see the Avengers, like Black Panther being gone. And that's the thing that pisses me off. Black Panther is the king of Wakanda. He disappears. They don't do nothing. Cap loses Sam and Bucky, two of his best friends and longtime companions. And he does nothing. Hawkeye goes berserk because he loses his family and becomes the killer like he is in the Ultimate Universe, in some variations, or in just Marvel variation. Like, Hawkeye has a weird thing of, like, he's a superhero and then he's, like, kind of like an anti-hero. It's weird. But they decided not to even reference them. Even Iron Man, who lost his son, kind of, with Spider-Man. He thinks nothing of him until he comes back and gives him the biggest hug in the world. This movie just went, well, these famous figures are now gone. We're going to pretend that they never existed and just focus on the cast that we have here. Fuck you. Fuck you. Just fuck you. Fuck you and fuck everything that you stand for. Because you have people that love Spider-Man or Black Panther or the Falcon or even Winter Soldier, and you pay none of them homage or any attention? Even Doctor Strange? Fuck off. Just fuck off with that excuse and with that bullshit answer. Especially the time travel thing, which I know comics like to do a lot. It's still, to my opinion, it's fucking bullshit. But the heroes come back in time for one of the most badass lines in the entire movie. When all seems down and out, the Avengers come in and Cap finally says his infamous line.
Assemble. I think I just peed a little.
And then it's just a big old epic brawl for like 20 to 30 minutes, and Jesus Christ, does it work to this movie's advantage because the fight scene is awesome. And then, of course, we have to have a character send-off, so they decided to kill off Iron Man, which of course Robert Downey Jr. knew that it was happening, and it was such a great send-off. Which of course everything does wrap up, but in a quick way possible, or the quickest way possible, by having it tie into the Disney Plus series that we all know happened by this point. Avengers Endgame feels like the really boring portion of the entire thing. It tries to be nostalgic, but at the same time, it just comes off as annoying. It's like, we get the nostalgia factor here, and that's why that they included the time travel thing, was that they wanted to remind people of all the movies that came before, especially for new people that probably went to the theater to watch this, that never saw the other movies before, then had a chance to shut them all out, either before or after they started this movie. So I do get it, I just really hate it. The reason why Spider-Man Far From Home and Deadpool and Wolverine worked is because they wanted to use the nostalgia factor, but to their advantage. And they did it well. Here, it's just tapped in to go to people and say, remember this happened in the movie? Remember that this happened in this movie? And here's the thing, and why it kind of doesn't feel complete in my opinion. On the back of the DVD, it said that there are 22 movies that this all ties into, and I'm like, that is way too many. I love superhero movies as much as the next guy or girl, but or Geek and Nerd. But it still feels like that's a lot to sit through. And these movies are 2 to 3 hours long each. That just feels like a lot of homework to really stop and get done. So Avengers Endgame, in my opinion, it just feels like the wrong kind of nostalgia, kind of like it's just tacked on and tacked in there just so people can basically go and see this movie. And in my opinion, it almost put me to sleep because it's so boring. There's more dialogue than anything else. And like I said, that doesn't necessarily kill a superhero movie, but you gotta try to give us a good balance in between of everything happening. And unfortunately for this movie, it just doesn't or didn't meet the expectations that I had for it, similar to Infinity War. But if I had to pick Infinity War or Endgame, I'm sticking with Infinity War because it's better. Endgame is just really fucking boring in my opinion. Just everything about it. The acting is good. It's just that the writing and the directing, it feels like that they're two broken pieces that don't even connect together. It's kind of like somebody trying to jam in the puzzle pieces when they don't fit. So my Funko Pop rating of Avengers Endgame is going to be a Chucky Finster from Rugrats because it feels nostalgic, but at the same time, it just feels so tacked on and kind of like lazily put together that it's just there and put together just for that nostalgic factor. It does have good moments, just not many of them. So my Funko Pop rating of Avengers Endgame is a Chucky Finster.
Let's go get this son of a bitch.
So story short, yep, in my opinion, Avengers Endgame is one of the worst Avengers movies that I've seen. But thank you guys so much for watching. And if you like this video and you want to support the channel, the best way to do so is by liking, sharing, commenting, subscribing, hitting that bell icon so you can be notified every single time I make an upload. I believe in the I want nerdy keep you on. Let me know your own opinions about Avengers Endgame. Please don't be rude to me in the comments down below. And if you want to, you can follow me at Twitter with the link in the description down below. But thank you as always so much for watching. I believe in the I want nerdy keep you on. And until next time, guys, and as always, take care.